in Belgium. And it's nice to be back, and it's nice to connect now in many parts of the world. So let's start by just sitting together for 2 or 3 minutes in silence. I'd like to suggest a very simple meditation we could do together. So keeping your eyes closed and looking inside, bring your attention to whatever is the strongest thing that's happening inside you. It may be thoughts, it may be emotions, it may be a body sensation, and it may just be silent. So bring your awareness to whatever is the strongest and just stay there. And don't try to change anything. Just watch. Take another look. And again, bring your awareness to whatever is the strongest. Completely accept whatever you come to. Don't try to change anything. Okay, so now this time allow yourself to fall deeper inside. Can you open the windows? So this is the first of a new series of Zoom broadcasts, which we're planning to make every 2 weeks. And I'm very happy that today we have people from many different places. And I would like to start by reminding you of my most recent book called Meetings with Remarkable People. And we have, in this book, I have a very lovely interview with Muji and Gangaji, two of the better known disciples from Punjaji, Papaji, who was also my master. So I'd like to read you a quote from Muji. I'm empty, and my life is also expressed from that emptiness. I don't plan my days. If I do, I have to write it in chalk because I don't follow anything in that way. The way my days unfold is totally spontaneous, unfolding by their intuition or inner guidance. It just flows like that. I can easily identify with that because since many years, as some of you know, I've been living in a spiritual community in the heart of Europe. And this is exactly how my own days progress. Sometimes there's some kind of plan, like we had the plan now to make this broadcast. So then a time is set, but normally my days are very spontaneous because things are happening around me in a very spontaneous way. So I'd like also to read you a very beautiful quote from Gangaji, an American woman. I'm not in control of life. I'm at the service of life. I'm waiting to hear what the latest instructions are, the latest demands and commands are. That for me is beautiful. It is not a burden. I'm not a slave to life. I'm a bride to life. And I'm thrilled with that. So these two quotes give a very strong insight to the possibility in our lives, how we could live our lives. Some of you may, in fact, live your life in this way. Many of you probably aren't able to live your life in this way because you have pre-programmed ideas and structures about how things should happen in your life. And maybe you try to kind of push your life in that direction that you have the idea it should be. And of course, we often are pushing ourselves in a direction of something nice because naturally we would like nice things to be happening. And sometimes, of course, for whatever reason, we need to experience things which are not so nice. And of course, it's much easier to be spontaneous when existence is pouring very nice things towards us. And it's much less easy to accept what's happening if, in your mind's judgment, this is not so nice. And I'm suggesting the possibility that when we go deeper and deeper into knowing ourselves, then it's possible to surrender our own ideas, the ideas of our mind, the ideas and structures which have been kind of programmed, you could use the word programmed inside us from when we were very, very small already. And these inner programs often have a lot of power, and often it's not easy to be in the moment, in a kind of spontaneous moment, and to allow whatever needs to be expressed because of the past, because of these things from the past, which sometimes have a lot of power inside us. And so, of course, the one aspect of the spiritual work is to have some kind of regular meditation practice. And by just simply sitting quietly, day by day by day, month by month, year even by year, the power of those old structures becomes much less. And in the case of Gangaji and the case of Muji, I would say in my own case, from my own knowing of my own life, I can say that it's very wonderful when you come to such a state of let go that in a way you could say you're just like a young child, because young children tend to be very spontaneous, and they seem to be very innocent because they haven't yet become programmed with masses of pre-programs on their hard drive. They have pretty empty hard drives, many young children. And so we feel, when we're around them, we feel this spontaneity. So anyway, that's a small introduction. And what I would like to do today is to ask you to make some comment, perhaps, about what I've been speaking. You might have a particular question that you want to ask. You might just want to come through and say hello, because maybe one or two of you I haven't spoken to for many, many months or years. So whatever you want, you can just, as Radha told you, you can click onto your flag, and you have a chance then to come into the meeting, and I will try to answer you.
Von Anfang an schon oben.
Who would like to start?
Verena, do you want to say something? You raised your hand, but just right in the beginning.
Hallo?
Ja.
Könnt ihr hören?
Ja, no.
Ich habe ein Problem mit der Technik hier bei mir gerade etwas, aber es geht, glaube ich, im Moment. Hallo erstmal, John David, wir kennen uns, wir hatten mal ein Gespräch letztes Jahr.
Hello from Verena. She just had a bit technical problem, but she met you last year. You had a talk with her.
Okay.
Es ist jetzt witzig, dass du mich aufgerufen hast. Ich habe eigentlich eine Frage. Ich würde gerne wissen, also du erzählst ja vom schwarzen Raum oder dass das Gott ist oder es oder wie man es nennt.
So you're telling yes from God or from the black space or however you would like to call it.
Und ich würde gerne wissen, wenn wir Menschen beten, ob dieser Raum antworten kann, beziehungsweise ob man mit Gebeten etwas verändern kann.
And I would like to know when we pray, if we can reach this space or if we can, hat es gesagt, mit dem Raum etwas verändern kannst?
Mit dem Beten. Mit den Gebeten, ob wir mit...
If we can change something with prayers.
Well, Elena, you're never separate from the space that you're calling God.
You can talk.
We appear to be separate because of what I was saying about the pre-programmed ideas and structures inside us. So these create a kind of barrier, but in reality, we are always one with God. We're not separate from God. And although we don't realize, we become separate because we're constantly doing things. We're constantly actively doing things which separate us. So the fastest way to come to God is to go to sleep. If you go to sleep, you're absolutely one with God and nothing is happening to separate you. But of course, we don't then consciously experience that. And so we need to find a way to be conscious in our daily life without all this unnecessary programming. This programming keeps us often in the past. And what we want is to be simply present. Elena, I probably told you something like that last year, did I?
Ich habe die Frage nicht verstanden.
Hast du sie verstanden, Verena? Wurde übersetzt?
Nee, die Frage habe ich nicht verstanden. Alles vorher ja, aber die Frage jetzt nicht.
Also er hat das dir wahrscheinlich letztes Jahr schon gesagt, ob das richtig so ist.
Ja, ich verstehe, was er meint, aber ich habe zum Beispiel gesehen, dass es in Indien eine Frau gibt, eine erwachte Frau, die mit, was weiß ich, 100 Menschen betet, um zum Beispiel die Welt zu verändern. Und dann frage ich mich, kann dieser schwarze Raum, Gott oder wie man das immer nennen möchte, darauf reagieren?
I understood what you mean, but I saw in India an enlightened woman who was praying with people, and so my question is, with these prayers, they can change something?
Well, you'll find that there are many different spiritual teachers who follow different ways to help you to connect to God. But in truth, the fastest way is to do nothing. But actually, it's very hard to do nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're drawn to prayer, then do the prayer. That will help you. Because the thing is, if you start to pray regularly, then when you're praying, you probably are not thinking so much about the past. The effect of the prayer is to keep you in the moment now. And because you're in the moment now, then you have a closer union with God. So there's nothing wrong with prayer. That's not my personal choice, but it's a perfectly reasonable way to help you to be present. And if you feel drawn to prayer, then fine, pray. And what will happen is that this will, over some longer time, the prayer will gradually quieten your mind so that you also are not so much in the past, so much thinking in the past. And so the prayer will also, over a longer time, will have an effect of bringing you more and more present in this moment. And there are many other spiritual, we can say, practices. Different traditions have different practices, and these practices are all designed to help us to be simply present. Another practice which has become rather popular in the West in the last time is to chant a mantra. So historically, there are many different mantras. And these mantras, if you chant them over and over again, over long periods of time, you find that they bring you into your own being or your own heart, or they bring you present, however you like to look at it. Because again, the effect of repeating a mantra is that you can't really think, you can't really be in the past. So mantra has become, in the last years in the West, more and more popular. There's several famous musicians who are traveling the world, making mantra concerts and issuing CDs where you can follow these mantras. So this is another very effective way that you can help to bring yourself present.
Ich habe verstanden, was er meint, aber meine Frage, also wenn ich ihn richtig verstehe, heißt das, also das, was wir beten, darauf erfolgt keine Reaktion. Ganz einfach gesagt.
When I understand it right, what you're saying is, if we pray, there is no reaction following.
Nur bei uns, nur in uns selbst sozusagen.
Only inside of ourselves.
Well, maybe not immediately. Maybe you will need to pray for some time. I suggest that you choose some simple prayers and you repeat them day by day. And you will notice over some period of time the effect of that prayer. And the effect of the prayer is not that you suddenly get some gift. You may be, praying for a new bicycle or something. You maybe don't get the bicycle, but maybe you get a quiet mind.
Okay. Ich glaube, ich habe es verstanden, ja. Mhm.
I think I understood.
Okay, good. Nice to talk to you, Elena.
Danke.
Yeah.
Vielen Dank.
Okay, very good. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Yes.
Okay. So I see one or two people that I don't think I know, or I don't recognize anyway your name. Would one of you like to come through? Also, there's some old friends there, and I shall perhaps call on you to come through in a minute. I can see Saraswati, for example, who's about to take an enormous step in her life. She's a Berlin girl, and she's decided, well, I don't think she's really decided, but actually existence has decided. So she has a nice little story, because in in December last year, she saw my advertisement for a retreat in India. And right in the last moment, she decided, okay, that sounds good. I'm coming. So she turned up in India, and in a rather innocent way, she found that actually she's rather attracted to what was being talked about. And one thing led to another. And I think in about a week or so, she's planning to come and live with me. So this is very nice. And we discovered that she's rather a good mantra singer. So she's already joined our band, and we look forward to hearing her sing. And I'm sure there'll be many adventures in our community with Saraswati. Perhaps you'd like to say something. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, it's always very beautiful for me when I see that somebody in a way is picked up, and whatever their mind may be saying to them, whatever kind of resistances comes up in their mind, there's another force which is much more strong. And I think this is acting also in your case.
Yeah, that's absolutely true.
Right, right. And of course, it's a little bit scary to, how can I say, it's a bit scary to allow this inner voice to decide. You know, we can call this our intuition, and it's not always easy to trust our intuition because we're used to trusting our kind of logical mind, our rational mind. And coming to live with John David is not really very rational.
No, it's not, and it's hard to explain when people are asking me, and wow, it's really difficult to tell this intuition or feeling to people. They want to understand it rational.
Right, right. People don't realize that life's not really rational. You know, when we're young, growing up in a family, the parents have some kind of duty, or they feel they have some kind of duty to introduce their children to the way of the world. And the way of the world is full of ideas and structures and unspoken rules and regulations and so on. Yeah. And so, of course, a good upbringing, you get all of that. And this gives you some kind of idea about how your life should develop, you know. So just an hour ago, I was talking to the parents of Om, you remember, from India, and he joined our community a few months ago. And almost the first thing that happened was that the virus took away all our businesses, so we had no income. And so Om had to go out and get a job, and he's been baking bread for the last few months. And of course, his parents weren't really expecting that, having supported their son through university, he would end up baking bread in the local supermarket. So, you know, that's not so easy for them. They turned out to be rather nice people. And so it seems like they quite like our community, and they quite accept Om at the moment being here. And probably they pray every night that he won't be here forever. That's all the parents have got left, is to start praying.
Okay, I don't know what my parents will do.
Right.
But for now, it seems like that they don't really know. Maybe they have a kind of idea about this community, but it's a surprise also for them how it will be, or like, yeah, how is
well,
it
it's even
going?
a surprise for you.
Yeah, for me, like, yeah, 1000%.
Right, right. Anyway, I admire your courage, you know, and I understand we're going to see you quite soon. So welcome, welcome. I can see,
Thank
when
you.
I look at the pictures, I can see several other faces of people who are kind of toying with the idea, you know, to jump in, but they haven't quite jumped yet. So probably seeing you right now is provoking them.
Good.
Right, right. Okay, bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Anybody else like to pick up this subject of trusting the intuition?
I just wanted to say hello.
Okay, good. Have we met before?
No, we haven't.
Are you from North America?
No, from Germany.
Oh, okay. Okay, good, good.
I raised my hand because before when you said that there were faces you didn't know,
Right.
my intuition just jumped and I wanted to say hello.
Okay, good. You got rather good American accent. You speak rather good English.
Thank you.
Did you say you're living in Cologne?
Yes.
So we're only 20 minutes away.
Yeah, I'm aware. I wanted to come by. I found out about the Open Sky House about 3 months ago.
Okay.
When I saw one of your films for the second time. The first time I didn't realize, but the second time I Googled it.
Okay.
And then came Corona, so I couldn't come. But now I'm picking up again, and I'm gonna be there on Wednesday.
Okay, good.
For the mantra singing.
Nice, nice. Yeah. So we have somebody else here now. Who's that? Okay, I say goodbye. I don't know quite what's technically happening, but there was another lady's face just there. We'll see you on Wednesday. Yeah. Was it Jennifer? I think maybe was there. Okay, Jennifer, I seem to remember you. We can't hear, I can't hear you, Jennifer. Radha, is there a technical hitch?
Jennifer, do you have, maybe, can you come closer?
Yeah, well, I don't hear you, Jennifer, but anyway, it's nice to see you. I remember you stayed for some time in our community, maybe 3 years ago. I don't know how long it was. And you have a little girl, I remember. Maybe she's not so little anymore. Maybe your little girl is not so small. Maybe now she's a big girl. 6 years old. Okay. Okay, well, my girls are also now rather big, so they're 4 years old now. Yeah. And you're coming to visit us, I think, in the near future. Okay, well, anyway, you become very, very quiet, Jennifer. I have to really say you become very quiet. So quiet, we can't hear you even. So I think we'll move on because there seems to be a technical problem, but you're welcome to come and visit us.
It seems like she doesn't have good internet, but Christine waved her hand.
Okay.
Hello.
Hello, Christina. You're from
Hi.
America.
No, I'm in Germany.
You're also in Germany. Okay.
Yes, and we met each other last year in October.
Okay, good.
During the seminar with this island meditation.
Ah, you came to do the Vipassana.
Yes, yes, yes.
That's
Very
why.
interesting.
That's why I don't recognize you, because we wore masks the whole weekend. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Without a mask, I can't recognize you.
I don't wear masks. I hate it. Yeah. So I wanted to say hello.
Okay.
And
Okay.
talking about intuition and going abroad, and I wanted to go abroad actually this year, and now I can't because of this crisis and all this thing, you know.
Right.
And sometimes I'm really angry and I'm really bothered by this. So I wanted to go. I wanted to jump, and I can't.
Right. Maybe you have to jump in a different direction.
I don't want to.
Huh? What's that?
So I'm asking myself, why am I here in Germany? Does it make sense? I don't know.
Right.
Yeah.
I think actually, as I understand, on Monday everything becomes open for travel.
Oh,
So
really?
I think from Monday you can travel out of Germany.
Wow, this would be great.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Some people were just telling me today that they're going to the south towards Croatia. I think they're driving to Croatia through Austria, and they're starting on Monday. And I've just come back from Belgium a little bit. A few days before they opened it up, I took a risk and went to Belgium. So probably you can start traveling now.
I want to go to Panama.
Panama, okay.
Yes.
Well, that I don't know if that's a good choice, but yeah. Okay.
And Hawaii.
And Hawaii. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I hope it's possible for you.
Sooner or later.
You've got some very nice birds at your.
Yes, I'm on my balcony here in Münster, Germany. This is my
Okay.
balcony.
We can hear them singing very nicely. Yeah.
Yes, it's nice.
Yeah.
So good to see you, John.
Okay. Very nice to meet you again. Yeah. So when you've been to Panama, if you come back, come and tell us all about it. I don't know much about Panama except they have a canal there.
Yeah, me too. I've never been there.
Right.
Yeah. So I wanted to leave Germany. I wanted to go to Hawaii, but there are some problems. And yeah, I talked to a friend, and sometime he came and said, "What about Panama?
Right.
He wants to go abroad also."
Right.
So yeah, I looked a bit, and yeah, seems quite good.
Okay. Okay, I don't know anything about Panama, but they do have a canal there, and you can go through the canal to Hawaii, I think.
It's another long flight. But you have two seas, two oceans.
Right.
Caribbean Sea and the Pacific Ocean.
Right. Okay, very nice. You're looking very relaxed after your home stay.
Yeah. At this moment, okay, yes, but it's for me it's very challenging. Yeah, challenging emotionally.
Right.
This whole thing. Yeah.
Okay. Well, if I remember you, you were rather good at sitting quietly.
And it was great. I made another seminar afterwards. It was also Vipassana, but a different structure. So we made a little bit of yoga and a meditation in front of a picture and so on. So you had an hour or so sitting still, or an hour and a half. and so you have had these breaks in between.
Right.
And I can say for myself that this island meditation was much better for me, much better,
Right.
because of these breaks. I couldn't break through, you know.
Yeah, well, it's a kind of entertainment, yeah, for the mind when you do all this other stuff. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, when we advertise, you know, that people are going to sit for 2 days and 2 nights, maybe that seems almost impossible.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, when you actually try it, even if you've never done it before, it's very interesting how many people actually get quite quickly some kind of breakthrough and actually have a very nice experience of sitting many, many hours in a very, well, in the kind of space I was talking about in the beginning today. So this is in a way what Vipassana is offering.
Mm-hmm.
Same way I was talking about prayer and mantra singing. Another practice is, in fact, Vipassana, which is one of the most traditional and probably one of the most powerful meditations. And the way we're offering it for the weekend is giving a strong glimpse of that, because if you remember, there was no entertainment. It was just sitting and sitting and sitting.
Mm. Yes,
You couldn't,
and
in
the beginning, all my horror scenarios came up, all these horrible images and thoughts and so on. But yeah, I broke through, and I couldn't break through because of these breaks in the other seminar.
Yeah.
And it was just like starting all over again every time.
Yeah. We need some longer time just to allow what you're talking about to kind of disappear, to clear away by itself. You can't make the thoughts stop, but they do stop if we stay with it. Yeah, it's for some people a few hours, other people a few days maybe.
Very interesting experience.
Yeah, good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
thanks.
Okay, nice to hear the birds singing.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, who else would like to come through? So I'd like to welcome our friend from Estonia. Nice to see her there. Would you like to say a few words?
Please.
Hello?
Hello? Oh, there you are.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you and see your right leg. No, it's your left leg.
My left leg, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, hello from me. I am now in my country house, which is in the middle of the nature.
Oh,
and
nice.
It's very, very beautiful here. And I might say that being in the nature is maybe my practice of being present.
Right.
So it has a really good effect on me, I feel.
Right. Yeah.
Yes, and also singing, just like starting to make some sound, what wants to come out, for example.
Right.
And when just letting it all happen, it brings very present and very connected to myself. So.
Right. Okay. Are you working with your film projects at the moment?
I'm right now having a little break, so I'm working in the garden, planting stuff and like that. And I have some ideas, so let's see how it unfolds. Yeah.
Okay, good. Anyway, it's very nice to see you again. I don't
You
think
too.
India is such a pleasant place at the moment. Yeah,
Mm.
they've got a big bit of a health crisis, I think.
Mm. I did see you in my dreams one time.
You saw me in your dreams. It was
Yes.
a dream or a nightmare?
No, it was a dream. And we were talking about India, actually. So that's
Okay,
interesting.
all right. Well,
And
we
Phil.
spent almost a whole week together, yeah,
Mhm.
in what is
Yes.
February, I think. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Well, come and visit us. Remember, you were thinking of doing that.
Yes. And then the corona came. So
Yeah.
let's see. I'd
Well,
like to do.
I think as Estonia is part of Europe, maybe it's going to be open from this Monday. Actually, I don't know.
Mhm. Mhm.
Otherwise, we'll have to come and see you.
You're welcome. It's very nice here. I have a lot of space.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. Nice talking with you. Yeah.
Nice to talk to you too.
Okay. And I see your friend, Mr. Santosh, is also here. He's been telling me that he visited you.
Yes, he did. Yes.
He's now, as I understand it, he's now in a big dilemma whether he's going to come and visit you or he's coming to visit us. Probably can't decide easily.
Well, we already talked about, and somehow I feel that I should come to the community.
Yeah. Maybe she can come and visit you in the community.
I agree.
Yeah. We've got lots of gardening she can do here too. Yeah.
Actually, I also like gardening.
Yeah.
A little bit. Yeah.
Right. Right. Okay. Is that one of your paintings behind you?
It's from my mother. Yeah, she paints. Wait.
All right. Okay. It's hard to see the colors, but
It's
right.
bamboo. Yeah.
Oh, it's bamboo. Ah, I see. Now I understand. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So that's probably greenish color. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
All right. Right. Oh, that's pretty good.
Thank you. We'll tell her.
And how is Santosh doing?
I'm doing good. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. In ups and downs, and like I see how mind sometimes. Yeah, it's ridiculous sometimes. Yeah, like the ongoing story.
Right. Right. Yeah. Yeah. Well, you
But
have to be impressed by Saraswati, yeah, that she's beaten you to it.
I never saw it as a competition. Yeah. Yeah. But she lives in Germany, yeah, so and I have to wait until the corona is finished, and then I have to
Right.
come by a little bit and go home, and then come by again. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So we may see you in the next weeks, I think. Yeah, you think July maybe.
I hope actually in this week, yeah, that comes.
This week you're coming.
Well, I don't know. I wait until the Germany lifts the green flag to that other people can come to Germany, and then I'm going to see my options. Yeah, like regarding flight or bus or something, something that's
right.
suitable. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Good. Well, we look forward to see you soon. Yeah.
I also thank you.
And you never have any questions, I think. Yeah, you don't have a question for me today.
No, I am reading that book that you recommended. I am that, and that
Okay.
is kind of answering some questions. Yeah, like and there are quite a few pages to go. So.
Yeah, that's a pretty intense book. Yeah, he's talking about a book called "I Am That" by Nisargadatta Maharaj. He was a master in Bombay. He died about 30 years ago, I think. the 80s, was it? The 90s? 80s, I think. No. Okay.
I wanted also to share that started doing meditation. Sometimes I have trouble to keep myself to kind of relax and go into it because of an active mind. And today I try something a little bit more simple, and it worked wonderful for me. Like just watching the breathing. I remember that from hearing it from Indira, and I tried it out, and it's
Right.
the simpler the
Right.
better, it seems.
Yeah, because if you watch the breathing, you have a kind of focus. Yeah. I mean, there are other focuses. I mean, that one is good because it's on the inside. Yeah. You're watching what's happening on the inside.
It's somehow,
And
sorry.
yeah. It's just enough to kind of to keep you staying present, I think. You know, by watching the breathing, you have something to focus, but it's not so much. Yeah. And it's not thought, so it doesn't disturb the mind. And in fact, the mind just gradually subsides, I think. Yeah, you probably find your thoughts are getting less and less.
Yes, and somehow it allowed me watching the breathing as breath comes and breath goes. Somehow it's easier to watch the thought coming and going. It's not like me that I have to like focus my attention away from the thought or something. It just somehow allows it to see it, and then okay, it's going away anyway, and to kind of accept that, and it's
Yeah. Yeah, well, I think for everybody, we were talking in the beginning about prayer. I think, you know, it's good for everybody when they want to get a quieter mind to maybe try some different things until you find something like now you say with your breathing. It really, sorry, with the yeah, the breathing. Yeah. So when you find something like that which really works for you, that's great. You know, for somebody else, maybe that's not so good, and maybe mantra is better. And then somebody else, maybe prayer is better. So everybody is suited to a little bit different things.
I know, like sometimes I try one thing, and then that thing kind of shows promise, and it kind of like takes me to some depth and so. And then somehow I can't get myself to try that thing again, to kind of put myself into that thing more deeply, and I kind of lose the drive to it. And then I come some other thing across, and I had also some like I don't know, maybe an idea that it has to be complicated or something. And now I tried this breathing, and it was kind of also like me kind of surrendering it to it, because I didn't want to do the breathing because it was too simple. Yeah, and after I did it, and after I admitted it, and after I talked about it, I felt a lot better also.
Yeah, well, so somehow that has shown you that it doesn't have to be complicated. So you had an idea, but actually you found out for yourself that maybe simple things work better for you.
Might be so.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Right.
Yeah.
Good. Anyway, I think that's quite a nice thing you shared with everybody, because usually I think the more simple, the more easy it is to keep going. You can do a complicated thing maybe a few times, and then it's somehow not so easy to continue. But something like watching the breathing, you can do this for months, even years. Yeah. And that's why that is one of the most classic meditations, actually, called Vipassana.
I didn't know that's the person. Actually, I never.
Right. So are you watching the breathing when it comes through the air comes through your nose, or are you watching it in the belly with the movement of your belly?
I found that it both actually works. Yeah.
Yeah.
The same, but it's I just did it like this morning, the first time. Yeah, so I can't say really what I'm going to focus on. Yeah, like probably on the muscle in the belly, or I don't know what works better.
Right. Again, you can try both. Yeah. You can start with your hands, just putting your hands on your belly. Then the movement of your hands will give you that rhythm. If you've got a belly, maybe you don't have a belly.
Oh, I have a belly, don't worry.
All right. Okay, good.
Okay.
Okay, well, we hope that Germany will welcome you quite soon.
Yeah, me too. I have like kind of prepared myself everything, so I'm ready to go. Yeah.
Right.
Don't have much obligations at home anymore.
Oh, good. Okay. Is there anybody else who'd like to come through?
Can you hear me?
Yes. Who am I hearing?
Okay. Yeah, I don't see you actually.
Christina.
Yeah, now I can see you. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Now
All
I
right.
can see you. Just another question. What about Dülmen? You wanted to move to Dülmen with the whole community in Germany?
To Dülmen.
Dülmen.
In Munster, you mean?
Yeah.
This building, and we put a lot of kind of investigations into that building, and we came a bit close to going ahead, but right in the sort of 11th hour, we got a bit nervous about the council, the local council, because in the countryside, there are some old laws which say only so many people can live in something like a farmhouse. Basically, the farmer and his wife and family, and maybe a manager, maybe, so maybe 8 people are supposed to be the limit to live in a farmhouse. And of course, we weren't going to be running a farm. We were going to have a community, but we couldn't get any kind of clarity from the local council how they would respond to 16 people living in that farmhouse. And so we got a bit nervous actually, because in the countryside you can't really hide. In the end, the local village people would get to know us. They would know what we're doing. Sure. And where we live now, we kind of get, nobody's that bothered by us. But in the countryside, everybody wants to know what's going on. And we got a bit nervous. And also we didn't really have the money to buy the house. Well, we might have been able to get the money together to buy the house, but then not to renovate it. Needed a big investment to renovate it.
And what did you do?
Well,
did you move elsewhere?
While we were thinking about all that, somebody else bought the house. So we missed that one. And where we live now, the virus kind of took over our daily reality. So at the moment, we're kind of waiting, you could say, waiting. Yeah.
And where are you now with the community? Or
the community is still in Hittorp, where you came for the Kastner weekend.
Oh, okay.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, we have a contract for a few more years here, actually.
Okay, didn't know that. Yeah.
We're not 1 minute. We're not 1 minute desperate to leave, but yeah. So we're all trying to get our piggy banks full of money at the moment. I think that's what we're doing.
Okay. Good luck.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I think all the people from North America have somehow disappeared. Maybe it's getting, well, it must be early in the morning there, I guess.
Well,
Is there
we
any-
can pretend.
Okay, yeah, you could be from North America. of
Yes,
course,
absolutely.
yeah.
And I guess
Definitely.
I have
We'll
also an American accent, so yeah.
Yeah,
no
we'll
problem.
assume you're from California. Yeah.
Well, actually, yeah, I have some relatives there. This would be very easy to post like that.
Right. You've got some smaller earphones this week.
Ah, well, yeah.
American.
What does Maha say? What did you say? I didn't miss.
I said they are American.
American earphones. Ah, very good. Yes. Right.
Well, maybe
as you're such a happy couple, I assume that you probably bought the same earphones.
No.
No?
No.
Okay. Yeah. One of the signs to watch in your relationship is when you start buying and wearing the same colored clothes, you know? You appear together in white or black or whatever, and then you have to start wondering, you know, if you're losing your independence.
Well, so we have to think about that. It's already happening.
It's called codependent. Codependent. You know, they even have a kind of name for it.
Yeah, it's very nice to see you again after just 2 weeks or something like that from Satsang retreat, and we're going to see us soon in the Open Sky House.
Good. Yeah. Yes, in the beginning of July. Yeah, I think.
Sangha weekend.
Yeah. It's going to be a big step for us. We don't meet any real people anymore. You know, I've got used to Zoom. You know, I thought, oh, maybe I'm rather liking Zoom. You know, there's the limit, the sort of limit. You know.
Well, yeah. Well, anyway, we're coming. We absolutely want to come. You can't escape. Right. Not this time.
But I must say, now that I've done a few of these Zoom meetings, like I think it's next weekend, I'm doing my Sangha weekend in Kiev, you know, in Tripelia. I'm going to do that also through Zoom because I'm not able to fly there. And it actually seems like a really nice possibility to do it with everybody at home, everybody with their own computer, and it's actually very intimate.
It's also energetically quite interesting. It's maybe not the same as sitting with you in the same room, but it's coming quite close. Maybe one have to let go and just to get used to it more, that it has the same effect.
Yeah. It's pretty soon, you know, human beings will stay at home and they'll just work through their computers. They'll do spiritual meetings through their computers, and they never even meet each other. They'll buy everything from Amazon or some kind of internet shop. This is the coming reality of human life, I think.
I hope not. I'm already living as a monk, so I still like to meet at least sometimes people.
Yeah. So you're still working at home? You don't?
No. Yeah. My boss said, so well, until autumn or maybe longer, we're going to stay home. Yeah. So it's pretty nice.
Wow, that's pretty good.
Yeah, we're enjoying it. The codependent American couple is really enjoying it.
But isn't it amazing that's happened for you actually? Because in a way, it's happened just in a good moment. You knew each other for some time, but maybe you didn't spend so much together, and now you're spending all your time together. So, all right, wow.
Yeah, Corona has a lot of benefits.
Right. Yeah, I've just signed on for a gym, you know, because of this.
Wow! Come on, really?
Yes.
Really?
I'm very impressed by that, you know, because, you know, for the last 2 years I've been staggering around on my painful legs, and therefore I use that as an excuse not to really take any exercise at all.
Wow.
And then, you know, I had the operation, and then I've been through rehab, And then it became clear the next step is, you know, regular exercise. And when I went to sign up for the gym, I could sign up on a monthly basis. He said, well, normally it's 24 months contract, but because of the virus, you can sign up just for 1 month. So I'm pretty happy about that.
Yeah, I can't believe it. Well, but I guess it's well, the older I get, the more I experience. It's not only up here, it's also the body.
Right.
So,
but when you get as old as me, you'll know it, you know, because bits and pieces start falling off.
the same is already happening with me. So,
right.
Yeah, but I'm very happy that you're going to the gym.
So far, I kind of like it. I won't say anything too much because maybe I won't continue so long, you know. But after my first week, I'm pretty positive.
Wow, so impressed. Can't believe it.
Yeah, me too. The guys I live with, they also can't believe it.
Yeah. Do you still have the trainer, the one you got as a present? This machine where you can...
No. When the community gave me that as a present, we put it in a special room, right? But I never opened the door for about 6 months. I never opened the door to go and look at this machine, yeah? So finally we decided that, you know, we should give it away or sell it or something. I think we sold it. Yeah. Yeah, so that wasn't the right moment, you know. It wasn't the right moment. Okay, is there anybody else who'd like to come through and say hello? Maybe we've lost most of the other guys, I don't know. Let me see who's still there. Is Dottie still there? She's gone, I think, isn't she? She's still there? No. Okay.
No, I also want to say hello. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I found your question at the your quotes at the beginning of the meeting very good, because today I came across Tony Parsons.
Right.
And Tony Parsons is very strong with this nothing teaching. No one teaching nothing to no one.
Right.
It was very strong, but it was the same as you say from Muji and from Gangaji. They also say only there is nothing.
Right.
And but Tony Parsons is a little bit hard in teaching. You came across him in the European Masters.
Right.
You talked to him.
Yeah, I went to England actually and met him. Yeah.
Yes. And
he really shocked me because just before the interview and after the interview, he was going to give a satsang meeting. We had lunch together and he drank a glass of wine, you know, and this was very shocking for me. So, I mean, I'm joking a bit, but, you know, but he's a very nice man, actually, very nice man. Yeah. But he's kind of ruthless. He was telling me how he had one lady who was always calling him and saying, Tony, I really need to practice. What can you suggest, you know? And he wouldn't give her any practice. So this is a little bit strong. I mean, I wouldn't go that far when you know, people are at different levels. And like, I think in the beginning, Elena was talking about prayer, and now Santosh was talking about watching his breathing. I think there is some value in those kind of practices, actually. Yeah. And it doesn't prevent you falling into the emptiness. You can, you know, do a practice and fall into the emptiness. But, you know, Tony's a bit ruthless way, I would say. He's not wrong, of course. And in the film, we put him in, I think, the end of the film. He was one of the main speakers in the film.
Yeah. when I saw the film half a year or so, I saw him, and he was not so fine for me. I think, oh, he's too hard for me when he talks. But what you say is this status in where you are at the moment, and there are many stages on this way, and everyone needs that what's in the moment right for him.
Right.
And when I Googled Tony Parsons at that time and hear a talk with him, and my ego go cross, and I had this feeling there is no love, there is only hardness and rough, and I put it out and think, oh, that's not for me a very good talk.
Right. But this
I
is
had
also
a crisis.
right. But it's also interesting, you see, because that particular talk must have been like you experienced it, yeah. But actually, I can say from knowing Tony that he's very funny. You know, he gives his rather tough lessons in a very funny way. He's like almost like a stand-up comedian, you could say.
Yeah.
So that particular meeting may have been as you experienced, but generally, actually, Tony's he's quite delightful to listen to, because, of course, from his point of view, most of what people do is funny, very funny. So he's like a joker, you know, he's joking about all the funny things that humanity does to fill up their own emptiness, you know, not to meet their own emptiness. Human beings do all kind of funny stuff, yeah, constantly.
Yeah.
And of course, that gives a lot of space for him to make jokes about us.
Yeah. We have this weekend on Whitsun, and we talked about this emptiness, and we talked about this being in the moment and only look at that what is. And today I look at Tony Parsons' talk and saw a completely other person.
Right.
Not no person. He would say no person.
Right.
And I couldn't. I laughed the whole time, because he sit there and wait what you say. He wait for what the people say. Give me something. What is your talk? And he only says no, nothing. There's nothing. And he laughed the whole time, and I must laugh with him, because now I understand what he means, and now I saw his eyes are glimmering,
right, yeah,
flickering with this fun and life, what I don't see at this time when I saw it the first time.
right.
It was a completely other looking at what he's saying. It's wonderful,
right.
For me to see what goes up in with me, that I can now see another talk from the same person.
Right. Well, I think this is true for everybody, you know, that there's some movement, and this movement of understanding changes how a book might appear, or a talk now, a video talk might appear. You know, for example, Ramana Maharshi, he was spending many hours sitting with his disciples, people who'd already spent many years with him, you know, and they would sit together, but of course nobody really had any question anymore. So actually there wasn't so much to talk about. I mean, when they got a guest coming to the ashram, then that guest might have questions, probably did have questions. And then by then he was a bit reluctant maybe to answer the questions, because he knew that the main group of people around him had gone through that, gone past that. Of course, he did answer people, but generally he became famous for not talking that much. And so for some people that wouldn't have been such an easy situation if you came to his ashram when you yourself weren't really ready for that.
Yeah, that would be a little bit strong. when you don't talk for many days and only sits. I don't think that I can bear it at the moment.
Right.
But it's very fine also to see that when there is this status, it's not every time in me, but when there is this status, only to look and to look what happens in the moment and what came across, and only to see, and it's beautiful when it happens. Sometimes I want to have something, and then there is this movement towards that, and that is also doing. But when there is no doing, it's most beautiful than doing by myself. And that's something that changes at the moment, in a minute or in a day or every time. But I experience it also and look at it, and it's beautiful.
Right. So you're doing pretty well, yeah? Seems like a strong movement happening.
Yeah, since I'm with you, there is something like I'm on a very fast flight. All the years before, I look and don't find, and I said to you, I came on these walls where I can't go further. But now I'm here with you, and in this year it's an express train.
Okay, well, that's a good advertisement. Say that again to everybody.
come in and
get on his John Davis Express train.
Yeah, let's go together.
Right, but actually, I mean, I think you can see from what you were just saying that this progress is basically your own, out of your own interest. You know, you appear on these Zoom, nearly all these Zoom meetings, for example, because you have a real interest. So, you know, that's also because of your interest, all this is happening.
Yeah, but what I say is the last time, it's not so that I must do any effort to be interested. It's more that that something sucks me inside to do this, and I can't do anything else.
Right.
And it's beautiful. I love it.
Right. Yeah, when it comes to that point, then it's another dimension of the whole journey, really.
Yeah, a joyful dimension.
Right. Yeah. Okay, so I think I say goodbye to you, and anybody else like to say hello? Otherwise, I think I'm going to finish soon because, yeah, well, because I find it quite intense after an hour and a half, actually. So is there anybody I haven't spoken to there? I think most of the people have either left or I've spoken to everybody. Anybody else who'd like to come through? I see Marco is still with us. And Ole is still with us. Probably out in his nature near his grandfather's farm, probably. Marco's still probably having his kids around his feet. Okay, so I think I'll say a goodbye. Maybe we just sit together for two minutes, just in silence this time. Okay, so let's open our eyes and come back. And I say goodbye. I wish you well. Quite a few of you I'll see at the beginning of July in our Sangha weekend. And in 2 weeks' time, I'll do another one of these Zoom at the same time. Okay, and we'll see Saraswati in a week with her baggage, her bags. Most of her bags she's leaving behind, of course, only a few bags. Exciting time, exciting time. Yeah.